Hello everybody, it's me T from Hearts and Crafts, and I am so excited to participate in the at-home mini album event. And so what I'm going to be walking you through today is how I created this Merry and Bright mini album celebrating Christmas in July. So I'll show you a little bit of a sneak peek, not too much because I'm going to walk you through how to put this together. Okay, so when you get your kit, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get your ephemera. You're going to get 3 sheets, which makes up the base of the album, and then your cut-aparts. 2 sheets of white cardstock and 2 sheets of brown cardstock. All right, so I'm going to put this aside for now, and I'm going to show you how to put the base of the book together. Some items that you're going to want on hand to put this together is the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. Love this one, and I'll show you why it's so great when we put this together. You're also going to want a bone folder of some type. I personally like the Teflon bone folder from Nuvo Tonic because if you're familiar with bone folders, sometimes when you press it leaves it a little bit shiny. This will not do that. You're going to want some foam squares. I'm using the ones from Best Creations, and some type of a brown ink. This is Versacolor number 54 brown. All right, let's get started. So when you receive your base of the album from us, you'll notice that it is 100-pound cardstock pre-scored. We've already folded one side of this for you, but what I want to point out is how to know what side to fold on, because it does matter. When you take your bone folder and you create the crease, you always want to fold in on that crease. And the reason for that is when you create that crease, you're softening the fiber, so when you fold it over, you're not going to get any fraying at this end. So let's fold all of these over using your bone folder so that you have nice crisp folds. Going to the next one. And you'll do this on all 3. Now what you want to be sure is that your smaller side is on the inside. And tuck that on in. Okay, so with our small side on our right hand and the larger in our left hand, let's stack all of these. Now what you're going to do is take your adhesive, the one of your choice. I told you that I like the Nuvo, and I'll show you why. This glue is super, super strong, and it doesn't take a lot to put this album together. Just do a small amount around the edges. Don't get too close to the edge, because when you adhere it, like here, you don't want it to smush out. So I'm taking my top layer, picking up my second layer, and putting them together. The most important part of this is being sure that your spine lines up really well here. So now we're going to pick up the next. Put our adhesive on it. And line them up again. It's that easy. All right, now what we're going to do is work on the cover. Let's put the lid back on this so it doesn't dry the tip. So you can use scissors or you can use a paper trimmer, whichever you prefer. I like scissors because to me it cuts so much faster. So you're just going to cut off everything white on here. I love Christmas. I think second to Halloween, it is one of my favorite holidays. So just cut up everything white. With this one, because it's supposed to have that shabby kind of vintage look to it, you don't have to be very precise. But I say that about all of my albums, because once you get it down, no one's going to notice if it's slightly crooked. So here's our spine. We want to do it next. What's great about these albums is there is no measuring required other than when it comes to your pictures. I give you full sheets of cardstock so that you cut it to the size of your pictures. You could do it exactly like I do, or you can wait until your own. So here I gave you some brown marks. You can either cut off the brown or leave it. It's your choice. So I'm just going to quickly try and go right down that brown. Everything is lined up, so it's just one big swoop down the center. If I leave a little bit, it's not going to matter because I'm going to then put this on brown cardstock. So a lot of that is going to be hidden. You'll notice that I'm cutting my longest pieces first, so that it's less touching. Oh, I love these scissors because they're nice and long, so I can just do one long swipe. All right, so let's set this aside. Let's get rid of our trash. All right, now one of the things I mentioned is as an option, you can ink your edges. What the inking of the edges does is it just takes that white off of the edges and gives it a more finished look. Doesn't take a long time to do, just rub it on. Some people like to use a dauber for this. I personally don't care if that gets a little torn up. They're like $2 each, and at the point that it is so torn up I can't use it anymore, I pretty much used most of the ink out of it. So for $2 I don't have a problem buying a new one. All right, so we've inked that up, so let's glue it together. So you want to be sure that you have the front to you, again, your small panels to the right in your right hand, the long panels in your left hand. We're going to take some of this glue. Same method, not a lot. And center it. Flip it over. Do the other side. All right, now let's do the spine. I am adding a little bit more glue to the spine, as you can see here. So I'm going to put the book up like this, lay it down, and making sure that it's nice, firm in the middle, and just holding it into place. This glue does dry pretty quickly. It does dry clear. So it's forgiving in that manner. All right, so here is our cover. In your package of ephemera, you're going to have your title, and you're going to have one that is colored and about 5 of them that are just white. And you'll notice that I've stacked them up so that it gives you the depth without using foam squares. I like to do that on my cover because foam squares, sometimes they easily bend your corners and we don't want that on our cover. Okay, so now we're gonna go to page number 2, or our first set, I should say. So I have it here, and now I'm just gonna do my cut aparts. Again, I like using scissors because it's what's comfortable for me. When I designed this album, I designed it with the non-crafter in mind. And many non-crafters, they'll probably have a pair of scissors at home, but a paper trimmer, maybe not. So these do really well as gifts. So I sell quite a few of them to customers who are doing themed birthday parties. So, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas or Monsters. Back when my nieces and nephews were young, I would make them a mini album every year for their birthday gift for the year previously. So super simple. The cardstock is 80 pound smooth that everything has been printed on. High quality digital laser printing, archival safe, and very, very vibrant. All right, so now we're going to ink our edges again using the same method as before. Just run it around it. Don't be afraid. You know, I know some people are a little bit more heavy-handed than I am, and like here, it's a little bit heavier, but it doesn't matter. It just finishes it off really well. And I don't know if you noticed that I had a little bit too much white left on that side. When I inked it, it just covered it up. Like here, you see I didn't cut all the way. Once you ink it, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now those pages are ready to be put down. Now something that I want to point out to you here is whenever you have clip art that goes over your photo mat, when you put your foam squares on the clip art, so here are my two that I'm going to put right here. I am only going to remove the backing on this one so that this remains unsticky so they can still slip the photo underneath there and then pull this off. So you want to do this on all of them. Let's talk about our photo mats. These are, the brown is 4x4 and the white is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. The smaller panel is 4 by 3.5. And then your flip up here, the brown is 4 by 8. Now when I have a 4 by 8, let me get rid of some of this trash. You could score it, but what I like to do is just fold it in half so my two ends meet up. Use my bone folder, and you can see by using this Teflon bone folder that your paper doesn't tear here. The other thing that I'd like to point out here is, so this is this page. So you have your garland here, your car here, your reindeer, and then your wording. Let's take a look at this page. Now let's talk about this piece right here. Let me find it in my package. So it's made up of this piece and this piece. I like layers. So what I did in many of these, I did an extra cut to layer this on the top. I have it here. So you can see how this page comes together. This is a second layer on top of here. The bird is a separate layer. And that is how you put together the merry and bright. So I think we have about 5 minutes left if I am counting correctly. So I want to show you a couple of the other albums that are brand new. This is my happy birthday album. So here I put glue just on the 3 sides so you can tuck in some cute little things here. Use some scraps to make a nice little extra element to go there. So that is my birthday album. And even though 4th of July is behind us, it is just behind us. So this is my 4th of July album. Very similar to my others. So those are my 3 newest albums out on my website. So exciting news. For the show, everything is 20% off. Whether it be the albums, the layouts that you're accustomed to for Hearts and Crafts, the adhesives, the bone folders, the Teflon bone folders, everything is going to be 20% off through Sunday. The code that you will use is SAV20. Again, the code for 20% off on everything is SAV20. But the best part of it, spend $100 and you get free freight. Hope you enjoyed my mini album, mini event. Hope you have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.